Oh, all right. Well, good morning. I'm so privileged to be able to do this video with a good friend of mine, Niall McCormack, who is on an interesting trek right now, and we're going to be talking about that. But a little bit of background. Niall, you did Te Araroa in, was it 2023, 2024? Was that the year you did it?
22, 23.
20, okay, all right. So yeah, that's right, because I did it 23, 24. Yeah, because I watched your videos. I've been back and forth about whether I was going to do the TA. And then one of the year, I was like, okay, I'll just watch some TA videos. And I saw your name come up. I was like, Niall McCormack, I know Niall. I didn't know you were doing the TA. So I watched that whole season. And in the end, you're so inspirational in just how positive you were, even on the worst of days. It was always great to see you. You could talk about a horrible day, then you end it with, and that was day 45. And I always loved the way you ended that. But it really inspired me. I thought, okay, if Niall's going to do this, then I'm going to do it. And so the next year I did it. So thank you for your impact on me personally with those videos. Now, while you were hiking Te Araroa, you also you were raising money for charity, for a specific charity. That's fascinating. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, certainly. It's a charity called I Care for Africa. I as in I, EYE. And it's a charity that was set up in 2017. I'd done a little bit of work for a charity called the Fred Hollows Foundation, which is very well known in
Mm, yeah,
Australasia.
yeah.
And it's a charity that's based at trying to provide cataract surgery at a very reasonable cost. I'd had an invitation to go and do a pediatric eye care camp in Uganda, which I'd taken up and I thoroughly enjoyed.
Mm,
And I had the idea, well, at the time, I'd seen the need over in Africa, and I set up the charity Eye Care for Africa to initially provide pediatric eye care with a view to following on with cataract help as well.
right. Okay. And so you've got this clinic built over there, right? Yeah,
Correct. So the
yeah,
money raised from Te Araroa was sufficient to actually build the clinic, which
yeah.
was just a great result. So it's in a remote part of northwest Tanzania, in a
Okay.
place called Shinyanga, and the clinic is now built. And now I just need to equip the clinic with cataract equipment.
Awesome. Who staffs that clinic?
It's attached to a local mini hospital. It's not quite a
Okay.
private hospital. It's not the same as that, but
Right.
it's by a team on the ground who I've known for a number of years who are very, very
Right.
trustworthy,
Oh,
and
excellent.
they're doing a great job.
Excellent. Oh, that's fantastic. Were you able to get over there during the building, or and I know in the first video of what you're doing now, you've been able to see the building built, but were you a part of that?
Well, do you know it went up without a hitch? The building, it
Oh,
was just incredible. Normally, from a distance, when there's such a project, you expect all kinds of problems, and it was built without a single hitch. So by the time I got there earlier this year, it was done and dusted. It was all complete. So I missed
that's got
out
to
on the build.
yeah, but that's got to feel great to walk in there, right, and see that.
Definitely,
Yeah, yeah,
very much so.
that's really neat. That's really neat. And I saw a real quick glimpse on one of your first videos that they have a corner plaque there as you coming in that this building was donated by Niall McCormack. So that's got
Do you
to
know,
feel
I'm
pretty
actually a
good.
little bit embarrassed by that because
Yeah, I
really
know you would be.
it's
I
money
know
raised
because
by
I know
people.
you. I knew you'd be really embarrassed by
And
that. Yeah.
yeah, and it was done to as a nice surprise for me, but I did cringe a little bit when I saw
Yeah,
that.
sure, sure.
You're going to officially open our eye clinic.
What do I do? Just
You just, where's the scissor?
like to say anything, Niall? Yeah. So, John, you've done an amazing job in building the clinic. Just so impressed. It looks fantastic. I'm sure you'd agree, Lloyd.
Absolutely.
Great team, Andy, and let's do it.
Let's do it.
Maybe you can just mentally change it, donate it through Niall McCormack. That might help you a little bit better. Yeah.
I'll take my paintbrushes out with me next time I go.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. And we're going to talk a little bit about some more fundraising you do in a moment. But you're on a trail right now that I'd never heard about until I saw what you were doing. It's the Land's End to John O'Groats in England,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this trail and where it is in the world
Yeah.
and yeah.
Well, it's in the UK. It's the most easterly point, which is John O'Groats, and the most westerly point, which is Land's End.
Okay.
And it basically Land's End is in the south of England, almost at the southern tip, and John O'Groats at the northern tip of
Right.
Scotland. So it's a trail between the two.
Right. So
I've had tagged a little bit extra on. I've gone from the most southerly point, which is
yeah,
Lizard Point, to the most northerly point, which is Dunnet Head. Unfortunately, I
that,
read a book a few weeks before starting, and this guy had gone to town and explaining why you shouldn't really do Land's End, John O'Groats. You should do Lizard Point, Dunnet Head, and pass John O'Groats and Land's End on the way. And once you've unread something like that, you can't. Once you've
yeah,
read something
yeah.
like that, you can't unread it,
Right,
unfortunately.
right. A little OCD there, maybe, you know.
But very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yeah.
So you're doing the most eastern, western, southern, northern points on this trail of UK.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct. But unlike Te Araroa, Te Araroa is a set trail.
yeah,
The
yeah.
end-to-end trail, John O'Groats Land's End, you can go anywhere you like. So long
Right.
as you get from those 2 points, you can pick your own route.
Yeah. And that was my question because it is quite a bit different that way because you've mentioned it several times that you pick your own trail going through. Are you making it up as you go, or are you following someone else's suggestions? How are you figuring out what you want to do?
I'd love to be able to say that I was well planned, but by coincidence, I'm staying tonight in a house in Bristol, the UK, with Scarlett and Joey, who came and did the
Right.
TA, and it's great because I've managed to link up the two trails together tonight for the first time,
Okay.
and we have literally Scarlett has literally sat down half an hour ago, so to help me plan tomorrow's day. It's been
Wow.
that busy each day that I've really not got around to planning the next day until the night before. So it's been quite
Wow.
remarkable in that respect. Yeah,
Wow. Oh, that sounds like a planner's nightmare.
it certainly is.
Yeah,
But I'm used to winging things.
yeah,
My
yeah.
wife Paul is never quite keen on that, but things seem to work out in the end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When I did the TA, I told our trail family I can organize the fun out of anything. I love organization, so I think I would struggle on a trail where you're doing just night to night, figure out where we're going to be the next day. But yeah, oh, that's
Yeah,
good. It's been fun watching your videos because I've been following along on the map. Where you are, where you're going, and getting a better idea of where places are in the UK, which has been fascinating. So it's really good. I really like the way you label each video on YouTube where you start your starting point and your ending point. And that makes it really easy to follow you where you are. Because somewhere in between those two towns, that's where Niall is right now. So that's good.
it's good. Yeah.
How would you compare the two of what you're on now to the TA? How would you compare them?
TA is 1.5 times the distance and twice the
Okay.
height. And I think from the few people I've spoken to who have done both, they would
Right.
say TA is hands down harder.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
And so far, what I've watched, I mean, you had that one night on the your stealth camp on the tent, but I don't know that you've slept in a tent other than that. Am I getting that
Um,
correct?
2 nights.
Oh,
So
two
two nights
nights.
in the
That's right,
tent, and
because
the
you had the
second
night
time
with.
the pole snapped.
Yeah, that's
So
right. I
I
remember that now.
on a
Yeah.
rainy night. So I couldn't sleep in the tent, and then I lost a bit of confidence in it, and found out that the bed and breakfasts and some of the
Yeah.
accommodation here has been so cheap and reasonable that
Yeah.
it's been a breeze.
Excellent.
So I
Excellent.
think I'm going to be back in the tent very shortly for a few
Okay.
nights, but we'll see how things progress.
As you go further north, does it get a little bit more remote?
It depends which track I take. I can go through what's
Okay.
called the Peak District and then onto the Pennine Way, and that's quite remote.
Okay.
Or I can stay with the Northwest, which is a little bit more populated.
Okay. Okay. So if someone wanted to do what you're doing, the hike that you're doing, where would be a good place for them to start doing their research besides
Social
watching your
media has been,
videos?
of course, yeah, good one, good one. Um, Social media has been good. There's a Land's End John O'Groats page, which is shared with cyclists who do the trip as well.
Okay.
And they tend to take a different route.
Right.
There's a good little book, which is the End-to-End Trail
Okay.
book by Andy
Right.
Robertson, the Cicerone Guide. And it's a very in-depth book, which
Okay.
I found very useful. And I've
Right.
followed a little bit of that trail and varied it a little bit as well
Okay.
at the same time.
Okay.
But it gives just a really good indication of where you can find accommodation if
Right.
that's the way you want to go, and how you can plan alternative routes if you're not keen on the route that he suggests.
Okay. All right.
So it's
All
a
right.
very good book.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. So now the real reason for the video, I mean, that's all fascinating, but what's really inspired me to do this video is you are again raising money for not just one, but two causes this time around. Um, and so if you could tell me, you got Glaucoma New Zealand, and then you've got, which, I'm more familiar with that, but the other one, if you could explain that a little bit as well, that would be awesome.
So the two charities are I Care for Africa and Glaucoma New Zealand. And I Care for Africa is the same charity that built the clinic in Shinyanga. And the idea now is to equip the clinic with the cataract equipment
Right.
to make it suitable for surgery. And Glaucoma New Zealand's a well-known charity in New
Yeah.
Zealand. They asked could they piggyback on the back of things, and I'm heavily involved in a volunteer role with Glaucoma New Zealand, so I said
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, all right. And what I really appreciate about it seems like about every two, three videos, you're just reminding people in the videos what this hike is about. And the thing that blows me away is the cost of a surgery for in Africa. Can you tell us what that is?
Oh, it's crazy, Kurt. It's do you know, for just 50 British pounds or 100 New Zealand dollars, you can have a cataract surgery performed in Tanzania. And
Wow.
it's not like a cataract surgery done in New Zealand where people are maybe borderline for driving. We're talking about situations where people have got cataracts where they can't walk and
Oh,
they have
wow.
to have
Wow.
family members hold their hands to just get around. It's just a
Wow.
life-changing operation. It makes a huge difference.
And just for $100 New Zealand, you can change somebody's life
Absolutely.
in a major way like that.
And and I've seen it happen so many times, it really does.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things where people say if you had to lose one of your five senses, or if you had to lose hearing or sight, which would you rather lose? And everybody I've ever talked to has always said, rather lose my hearing than my sight.
Mm,
When you lose your sight, man, you just really get isolated from the world. You really do.
totally.
So yeah, so this could be
I've given
nice.
many talks about this, and I've got a pair of glasses I can put on people that show them what it's like to have dense cataracts in both eyes,
Oh
and
wow.
people are just blown away with
Yeah.
how poor their sight is.
That would be terrible. And when they have the surgery, how long after the surgery before they have their sight? Do they have to wait like
Or
days for
within,
recovery?
20 minutes, half an hour,
Oh, no way.
45 minutes, it's almost instant these days. The risks of infection are very, very minimal.
Yeah. Have you been there when a person's come out of that surgery and has their sight for the first time in a long time?
For sure. As an optometrist, I don't get to do the surgery, but
Yeah.
I get all the praise from the patients. It's a real
Yeah.
cheat. It's not fair on the surgeons.
Yeah.
So I'm often the one who gets to see them, and I get the
Yeah.
credit for it, even though I've not
Yeah.
done the
Yeah.
hard work.
Well, you're the first face they're seeing, maybe, so.
Indeed, indeed. Unfortunately for them.
Yeah. What's that like when someone, opens their eyes and they realize that they can see now again?
I never get tired of it. It's just
Yeah.
wonderful that they instantly realize, and the risk of complications these days is so small.
Right.
Um, I I never get tired of seeing the smile on people's
Yeah.
faces. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. So if people want to give to this, if they want to support the charity, what's the best way to do that?
I think through following the links on the YouTube, I've got them linked on most of the videos.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm a couple short, and I get round to finishing those off
Right.
a couple of days later. But the links are there after each video normally, and that's the best way of donating.
Right. Okay. All right. So links right there in the video. It's through Give a Little. Is that where the
Correct.
giving?
Give a little if you're in New Zealand, or you can do it overseas as well. So yeah,
Yeah, because you're
and if
carrying
you have
on
a
your
particular interest in
backpack.
glaucoma New Zealand, that's fine too.
Okay. All right. Because you're carrying on your backpack a QR code that people can scan and be able to
Correct.
donate, right?
Yeah.
That's a
It
great
happened today. A
idea.
cyclist he cycled past me and then circled back and introduced himself and said, "What's this all about?" And took a picture of the QR code. And
Uh,
yeah, and just in the post today, I've just had, and it's going to cringe a little bit, but someone sent me something to put on the front of me so that
oh,
people coming
wow.
towards me can can see a
Awesome.
QR code as well.
You're gonna be carrying a big sandwich board by the time you're done, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little bit of effort for me to put that one on, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I can understand that. I can understand. Well, no, it's been great talking with you. I'm really jealous watching you. We're freezing cold over here right now. You got
Oh,
some
really?
you've had like 20, 25, 28
Oh,
degree
31 on
temperatures.
Saturday.
Oh
Yeah.
my word. Yeah. So I'm
I'd
jealous.
scheduled a rest day, fortunately, so I got away with
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's good. That's good. So that's great. So thank you for taking the time
No,
to do this
thank you,
video.
Kurt. Thank you for the opportunity.
And I want to encourage people to follow Niall on his channel. Just hit that like button. Get the subscribing coming through, and above all, just really support this charity. I think it's a fantastic charity, and I love that you're getting to do this, and I hope it goes well for you. Yeah.
That's great. Thanks, Kurt. Thanks for your time.
All
Really
right. You
appreciate it.
take care. All right. Thanks.
Take care. Thanks. Bye now.
Bye.